Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Dynamics 365 Tech Talk. Today's topic is Dynamics 365 Human Resource Recruitment Add-on. We are broadcasting this session through Teams Town Hall. This session is being recorded on behalf of Microsoft Corporation. When you join this event, your name and email address may be viewable by session organizers. By joining, you are agreeing to this experience. If you do not consent to be part of recorded session, please disconnect your line at this time. The recording will be made available in the TechTalk Community Dynamics page within 5 business days. If you have questions for the presenter or need support, please use the Q&A panel located on the right side of your screen. If you wish your name not to be visible to the organizers or session participants, please post your questions anonymously. We will be responding to your questions throughout the session and in live segment at the end of presentation. Thank you for your patience during this announcement. Presenting for us today from Microsoft, we have Priyanka, Senior FastTrack Solution Architect, Anisha, Senior Product Manager, and myself, Saurabh, Senior FastTrack Solution Architect. Priyanka, over to you.
Thanks, Saurabh. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Tech Talk. In this today's session, we will begin with an overview of the Hire to Retire vision and framework. We will then dive into the recruiting process, covering the end to end journey, and then we will explore the capabilities currently available. Next, we will be walking through the prerequisite and the configurations needed to use Dynamics 365 recruiting, followed by a live demonstration of recruiting in action. Also, we will briefly talk about the feature plan for future releases. And finally, we will wrap up this session with a Q&A to address any questions you may have. So if we see hire to retire overall vision, um, we would like to briefly mention about our vision of Dynamics 365 human resources, which is to just balance operational excellence, organizational agility, and the employee experience to create a workplace where people and business thrive. And we will unlock this professional by investing across four key pillars, which are transforming employee experiences and then optimizing HR programs, increasing organizational agility, and then enabling workforce insight. So these are the four pillars, key pillars where we will be focusing. And then if we see the how it is going to be AI powered, so if you see AI powered hire to retire processes, we are looking at how we can deliver a solution that automates the tedious and effortful work while enabling folks to focus on fulfilling work they do. So let's start with the recruit and onboard stage. So this is where we create job postings, source candidates, we screen the application, schedule the interviews, and there are many more processes while onboarding new hires. So in this case, agent play a crucial role here by automatic repetitive tasks such as candidate sourcing, screening, and providing data-driven insight. It is going to help to make better hiring decisions. Additionally, AI-powered onboarding ensures that new employees receive role-based training and are well prepared for their new positions. Next, we move to the develop stage. So, this involves defining goals, conducting performance reviews, providing trainings for skills and certification, and planning career paths. So, in this, agent can help um, personalize the development plan for each employee, track their progress, and identify areas of improvement. So, by leveraging AI, we can ensure that our employees are continuously growing and developing their skills. Now, when we come to the reward stage, here organizations manage total rewards, including compensation, planning, benefits, administration, and employee engagement programs. So, here in this case, agent enable them to design and administer these programs more efficiently, ensuring that the employees are fairly compensated and engaged. So, by analyzing this data, AI help to identify trends and make informed decision about our reward strategies. Now, coming to transition stage, where it focuses on offboarding talent. This includes concluding the exit interviews, managing termination processes, um, handling payouts, and ensuring that properties and system access are properly managed. So here in this case, agent streamlines these processes, making them more efficient and reducing the risk of errors. They also provides valuable insight from exit interview, helping companies understand why employee leave and how to improve retention strategies. So here are three stages, and finally, if we talk about managing time and attendance, so here we have to ensure that workplace compliances are uh, taken care, and agent helps to automate absence management, leave request, and approval workflows, making these processes more efficient. So if you see throughout all these stages, our people strategy is supported fully by AI, which help us to manage transfers, organizational changes, position management, employee data lifecycle, and then reporting. So there are, if you see end to end, this AI is going to help the organization at very efficient level. Now, let's have a look into the hire to retire journey, which goes along with other processes. And having hire to retire on the same platform as your operational and financial processes, it helps streamlining the flow of data between the functions. So if you see here, along with your hire to retire processes, there are other processes which is well connected, like finance, and then let's say planning and supply chain. So all those can be well connected, and it is on same platform. So it is going to uh, help and streamline, and the data flow will be more smoother. And then, as you can see, the connection, this process has to be this process is going to be more smoother. And then when we see the hire to retire, this is broken into the following 8 areas. If you see here, like developing the people strategy, and the next step is the recruiting and onboard the talent. And then we talk about managing the performance growth, and then we talk about compensation benefit. So like that, we have this 8 key areas which we have divided our whole hire to retire processes. And then today, in this session today, we are going to deep dive into recruitment to discover how it is going to help the entire and streamline the entire recruitment process, from sourcing, interviewing, and then candidate assessment, then hiring. So first, let's try to understand that what is the value addition we are going to get. So it is a well-defined end-to-end recruitment process, ensuring the right candidates are hired efficiently. This improves the HR operational excellence, supports compliances and stakeholder involvement, like finance, HR, IT, and there are many more. And then it also enables the automation, tracking approvals, and there are additionally many more features which is part of Dynamics 365 human resources. And in this diagram, so this depicts the end-to-end recruitment workflow, highlighting the key roles and steps to which is involved in hiring. So main roles, if you see here, those roles are involved, let's say manager, hiring manager, recruiter, and candidate, who will be part of this end-to-end process. And if we see the end-to-end process flow, Here, manager or hiring manager will specify the job role and requirements, decides how many openings are available, and then he initiates the formal request to start recruiting, and then there will be some approval of that request also. Once once it is in draft, and then it has to be published. So basically, a job ad will be there, and it has to be published, and then once job ad is let's say it is approved and published, then this whole hiring process will be starting. And so if you see here, once the job is posted, and then there will be candidate sourcing will start. So basically, uh, the recruiter will have to identify and attract the potential candidates, and then candidate will apply for job. They will search for job, and then they'll apply, submit application for open positions, and then recruiter will send the invitation to selected candidates. They'll arrange interviews and shortlist the candidates. And then that whole interview process will happen. Like there will be hiring panel, and then there will be multiple round of interviews. And then once the candidate is, let's say, hired or rejected, the feedback will be given to the candidate, and then let's say if it is hired, then a job offer will be provided, and then that candidate will be hired as a worker. So this is end-to-end recruitment flow. And then once the worker or that candidate is hired, that candidate will be available as worker in finance and operations. Now, we just went through the end-to-end process flow. Now, let's briefly see what are the current capabilities available, which is already released. And you will also see the demonstration in action in few minutes. So, the key features currently we have recruiting request, which outlines all basic details of open job position, including location, compensation, description, skill and education requirements, and then job ad creation and posting, which enables hiring manager to create and publish job ads, post them on internal career sites for both internal and external candidates, and then uh, candidates can create their profile, they can apply for jobs, they can track their application, withdraw applications. So there are a whole lot of features for candidates. And then there's a feedback collection. So it provides an easy process for collecting feedback, including notification on Teams, and then um, mass rejection notification also. And then interview scheduling, where it integrates with Outlook calendar, allowing the recruiter to book panel members availability and then share time slots with candidates. And it can also send the customizable meeting invitations. And then onboarding candidates, it uses an agent to assign onboarding checklist and create worker records. So if you see, these are the capabilities which are already available, and GA, you can start using it. And then additionally, we have this bulk resume upload feature in public preview. So if you see, in today's fast-paced hiring environment, companies face the challenges of shifting through large volumes of resumes to find the right candidates, which often leads to delays and missed opportunities. So our AI powered resume screening and matching solution address this problem by automatically analyzing and matching the resume to job description based on skills, um, experience and qualifications. So this not only speeds up the hiring process, but also ensures a more accurate and unbiased selection. This also helps business to find the best talent and efficient in efficient manner and in effective manner. So this is one good AI related functionality we have already in public preview. And another AI powered feature is in private preview, where recruiters spend a so if you see there's a scenario where recruiters spend a significant amount of time writing job description, which can mean 10, 20, or even 50 job description a week. And similarly, creating candidate profiles from resume is a tedious process that can uh, that can take several hours per day, involving data entry, organizing information, and then again ensuring the accuracy. So these manual processes contribute to lengthy recruitment process. Now, by automating the creation of job description and candidate profiles, this co-pilot reduced the time and effort required for these tasks, and this automation not only streamlines the recruitment process but also ensure consistency and the accuracy in the job posting. And this is currently in private preview, and soon it will be available for public preview. Now, quickly, this slide depicts the agentic vision for recruiting in Dynamics HR, focusing on how AI powered recruiting agents streamline and automate the overall recruitment process. Um, this AI technology plays a crucial role here by automating repeating tasks such as candidate sourcing and screening, providing data-driven insight to help us make better hiring decisions. Additionally, AI-powered onboarding ensures that new employees receive role-based training and then all well prepared for their new positions. So this is very high level vision for agentic. Many of these things are already available, planned in, it's coming in, let's say, in next wave and then upcoming wave. So this is overall vision for us, which is going to really help automate the process for overall end-to-end hire to retire process. So far, we explored the overall recruitment capabilities. Now let's take a look at the prerequisite and the configuration needed to enable the recruitment functionality. And then I will now hand over to Saurabh, who will walk us through these prerequisite and the necessary setup. Over to you, Saurabh.
Thank you, Priyanka. So we are talking about the recruitment add-on, which is now in GA in 10.0.45. So once you enable that and once you want to configure and use that, there are certain prerequisites which we need to consider. For example, you should be on a version of 10.0.45 or the later with the latest quality update. You should have the licenses for your Dynamics 3 human resource for the finance and operation environment. You should also be the system admin permission for both human resource and the Power App because this involves certain configuration in that area as well. You should have the environment connected with your Power Platform or the Dataverse integration should be enabled. There are certain resources if you do not have how you can connect your environment with the Dataverse instance. Along with that, you also need to have certain licenses and the permissions for Power Automate, Power Apps, and the Office 365 because as Priyanka was mentioning that it has a capability of looking at the calendar, scheduling interviews, and so on. So for that, you would require the Office 365 license as well, and then the finance and operations virtual entities, Microsoft Flow Approval Solutions are also installed in your Power Platform Admin Center. Now, once you have all these things, you would be ready to configure your Dynamics 365 recruitment add-on. But there is a one note here to just to keep in mind. If you are on 10.0.44 and if you are going to install that, there are certain known issues and the limitation which we have put in the learn document, which you might need to just look at that. But talking about like how you can install this recruitment add-on, so there are certain steps and it is kind of in a sequence. So as I said that you should not, you should have all the prerequisites met in terms of the environment. You need to have all the license considerations. You need to have all the apps installed in your Power Platform Admin Center, starting from virtual entity to the flow approvals to the recruitment add-on app, which you will get it there. And then you also need to enable the feature in the finance and operations, which is about the recruitment. And then you have to enable certain parameters, which I will be talking about in next slides. And then from the Power Apps configuration perspective, you need to enable the approval connections, the data was connections, and there are certain flows which are running, which you need to enable. Now, one of the most important thing here is also about installing the career site where you would be able to post your jobs. So that needs to be installed. Now, to do that, you need to have the prerequisites of the recruitment add-on should be enabled, and also the language setup need to be done. And I would show you like where this language setup is that, and then based on that, you can install the career site, which is based on the Power Pages. Now, the entire step-by-step configuration, how do you enable and navigate under the Power Platform Admin Center or the other places, has been mentioned on the Learn document, right? Now, if you talk about, if you go back to the previous one, Priyanka, yeah. So the first step, once you enable the feature in the feature management, and if you're done with your all the apps installation, right? The on the configuration part, in the finance and operation, in the parameter, you need to switch back to switch on this recruitment experience where you can go to parameters, and under recruitment tab, you need to select the recruitment experience as HR recruitment, which will bring this recruitment add-on experience. And then you also need to enable this to like you want to integrate with the new recruiting app. Now, if you have multiple legal entities where you want to have this experience, then you can set this experience for all the companies by clicking on the set experience for all companies on the top. Once that is done, we'll move to the next one. Then you will have the recruitment add-on app available for you, which you can log in. Now, once you log into that recruitment app, you will see on the left bottom corner, you will see certain configuration steps are there. But one of the most important and the first step, which also is a prerequisite for your career site installation, is the language setup. So you can go to the settings and define the setup for the language. That is one of the prerequisites you should do. And then once that is done, if you go to the next one, then you have certain email and the email template configurations which you can do. And how it helps is to enhance the experience of entire recruitment cycle where you are triggering automated email to the candidates about the replication, the prospects, or the rejections. Now, this specific configurations help you to define the different types of template. You can create a certain category of the templates, and also the content in those email template. You can define it here based on the dynamic placeholders which you have for the email bodies and the subject which you can have in those emails. So this is another configuration which you need to do it once you have this recruitment add-on installed. Now we'll move to the next one, which is about the hiring template. So you can have multiple hiring templates, and each hiring template can define the different stages which you have as per your organization need about the hiring stages. So for example, you can have the screening, then you can have the interview stage, and then you possibly have the final stage, which you might call within your organization. So you can define the stages, and but within these stages, you can also define the different steps you have. So for example, in the interview stage, you might have multiple stages in terms of the multiple interviews you will be conducting with the candidates. So you can have the interview one, which is, let's say, the what is the type of step, and you can specify is the online interview, and then you can say the interview two is the next step in the same phase, same stage, and that can be your face-to-face interview. So like this, you can define your hiring template. And as I said, that you can define multiple hiring templates if your organization follows that. Now, once you have the hiring template, the next thing is you also have an option for defining your screening template, which is a kind of a important step which most of the organizations follow at the time of the application. So let's say you have published a job and then the candidate is applying the job there. So you would like to have certain screening questions on the job portal itself. So you can define this screening template where you can define your screening questions and what sort of answers you are expecting. Those options like a yes no answers, you can provide that. If you have something else, then you can add your options as well if there is a different type of answers. And then also you can set up what is the preferred answer so that it helps the candidate with a smooth experience by not selecting, not going through the multiple selections. But also one of the key thing which you can specify here, which will help the recruiter later on when they are screening the profile, once the job application is submitted by the candidate, is that criteria or the question is the qualifying question. So for example, if they do you have the passport, if that is my qualifying question for the screening to take to next stage, I can just define yes or no there. So that will also help you when you receive this job application after the screening stage from the for the candidate. You can just straight away take that into the consideration and then accept or reject the application. So that's where you can define the screening templates which you have as part of recruitment add-on. And then if you go to the next one, yeah, so I think that's it. That's pretty much what you need to define as part of the recruitment add-on as a configurations apart from the installation of all these things. Now over to Anisha, like where we would see all these things in action, that how entire process is going to work for us. So over to you, Anisha. You are on mute if you are speaking.
Yes. Hello, everyone. So now I'll take you to the journey of recruiting in Dynamics 365 human resources and showcase the capability of recruiting which are available now. Recruiting is a crucial component in human resource management. This is the process of identifying and hiring the best and most suitable candidate for open position. Recruiting has been an area that was not fully addressed within Dynamics 365 human resources. And we have constantly received this feedback from our customers, partners, and other stakeholders. To fill this gap, a recruiting solution has been implemented in Dynamics 365 human resources with ongoing updates to enhance the functionality and streamlining the hiring process. And the initial step in the hiring process involves defining the open position and specifying requirements such as skills, education, experience, compensation, job location, etc. Let's have an experience of job creation in Dynamics 365 Human Resources Recruiting Solution from the perspective of hiring manager Charlie. So in Dynamics 365 Human Resource, Charlie creates a job and provide all the information like skills, certificate, screening, and education, description, everything. And out of which she creates a position and add that job ad to that. Once the position is created, she can create the recruiting request from position itself. So once they click on create recruiting request, the recruiting request gets created and she can navigate directly to the recruiting request. She'll get a notification and here you can see the recruiting request has already been populated. She navigates to recruiting request and she can see all the details which was part of the jobs. It contains the external description, position, skills, education requirement, compensation, all the details. It's automatically extracted from this job and position which was attached to this recruiting request. Now, the next course of action is to activate this and make it available for the recruiter. Once they click on publish, what will happen? This particular job will be available for recruiter to see in recruiting add-on. Now let's go back to the presentation and see what is the next step. So next step is job posting. The subsequent step is to publish the job opening on the job board, ensuring it is accessible for candidate to review and submit their applications. Robin, a recruiter at Contoso, is preparing to post an account manager position, which Charlie has just now created. Let's see how recruiting solutions streamline this process by providing standardized template and an efficient notification workflow. So after creating this, Robin is logged into recruiting add-on, and then they can just refresh the screen to get the job ad. Robin can see a job has already been created in the draft state. She'll just verify all the details or automatically get extracted from the position and the recruiting request. It also extracts the description which was there in recruiting request. Now the next course of action is adding the hiring team member. She add the hiring team member. At least one hiring manager and recruiter is required. She also add a recruiter. So this is mandatory to have one hiring manager and recruiter as a primary one. As you can see, this particular member is not set as primary. So Robin again go and correct this by editing. They can also enable this, and then they can save this particular So once this information is saved, now the next step is to add the screening questions and the hiring template. As Saurabh mentioned that there are different templates which is available in recruiting ad, and this is a place where they can create it. So once the recruiter admin or recruiter has already created the hiring template by creating this question, this will definitely help them to reduce a lot of time in creating the stages which is required for each of the job. So just add the predefined hiring template. Similarly, for screening question, you can save it for further use, and they can utilize those templates while creating the job post. When they search for this screening template, they can see multiple. In case of screening template, they can attach multiple template at time. The reason being there can be multiple questions. They can just categorize. For example, if there is legal related questions, they keep it aside, which can be utilized across organization. And there be a template which can be only required for a specific job title. So here they can attach, and as soon as they'll attach multiple template, the question which is related to these template will automatically add it here. Another next thing is approval. This is an optional step where if at all this job post require any kind of approval, they can just enable this, and then they can add the approval here. Now, the next course of action is to move this job ad to the post stage. So I'll advance the stage to the next. This will also notify if at all any information is missing. So as you can see, the job location is not given. It's asking to provide the job locations. Once everything is given, Robin will be able to move the stage to next stage. Now on click of finish, what will happen? This job ad will be available for candidate to move further and apply for the job. Let's see what's the next part of the recruitment process. Now the next section is the opening becomes available to candidates. They can begin the process of searching for and applying for the position. We have built an internal career site that allows candidates to manage their profiles, including contact details, personal information, work history, education, documents such as resume and certificate. Candidate can search for multiple job openings based on location and title, and they can also apply for these job openings and track their applications. Let us check the candidate experience on the career site. So this is the look and feel of career site. When the candidate comes to this site, they'll have to first sign into this page. If they do not have any credential, they'll have to create the profile. If they have already created their profile, they can just log in into. Emily is a candidate who has already created the profile, and she's looking for account manager role. She shines to this candidate portal. And then she will land it up in this home screen. This is a screen which is completely customizable. Customer can use this particular page. They can provide their own introduction section, their background, the title, everything can be customized. A candidate will be able to see this home page, and then they'll go to this job to search the job which they wanted to apply. Just now we have created this job, and when Emily wants to apply for this particular job, she just search with the job ID. She can also search other account manager role by just providing account manager as a search button. Once she'll click, she'll get inside this account manager, and she'll be able to see the description which was provided in the job description. After reading all the description, she finds that this account manager role is suitable for her, and she click on apply now. This will take her to the screening questions. These are the questions which recruiter has added at the time of creating the job ad and posting it. Now Emily has to go through all these questions and mark their answer. Once Emily submit this, then Emily will get a notification saying the job application is successful. And this will confirm Emily that she has successfully applied to this particular job. She will also get a notification in her email ID, which confirms that her job application is successful. Now, as a next course of action, she may go to this job page to explore more jobs, or she can track the status of previous application which she has applied for. She can see all the application which she has applied for and what is the status of each of these applications. So this is the place where she can also maintain her profile. I can showcase how the profile will look like. So this is how the personal detail will look like. She can verify and edit if she would like to change any of her information with respect to document, work experience. She can attach up to 5 documents in this career site. So there is an edit profile which allow her to change or modify this profile. So this is what the experience of candidate in career site. Let's see what is the next course of action in recruitment process. So now this is interview scheduling. This capability of recruiting will enable recruiter to streamline the interview scheduling process by booking slot of interviewers, sharing with candidates where candidate can confirm the slot over the email, saves a lot of time and fast in hiring the process. A feedback mechanism on the teams helps the interviewer to capture the judgment while taking the interview itself. Let's see how interview scheduling streamlines Robin's workflow and reduces man workload significantly by leveraging Outlook calendar integration, standardized template, and automated notification. Just before that, once the candidate has applied for the job, this will also get listed here in the applicant tab, which Robin can see and figure it out like how many applicants has applied for the job. The screening question which she has appeared, that will also come as failed or passed based on the answer which she has given. If the screening question has the qualifying answer and the qualifying answer is not up to the preferred answer, then in that case, the screening question will be failed. She can also verify that what all the questions she has made wrong, and those she can verify from the activities. So we have activities inside the applicant where we have a screening question which has been passed or failed and what answer candidate has been given. So this is how they'll see and they will a recruiter can verify it. Now coming to the recruiting interview scheduling piece. So once Robin gets the applicant, the next piece is whether to move forward with that candidate for the interview process. Now Robin will schedule the interview. Before that, Robin needs to see whether the panel member is available or not. When she chooses this job ad, automatically the panel member will be listed. This panel member is coming from the hiring team member, which she has added as a part of job ad. Now she will just attach one of the panel member and she see the find slot. This to understand what is the available slot for Charlie. They'll get all the available slot which is available for Charlie in this date range which she has given. Robin can also change the start date and end date based on requirement. As of now, the list which is coming here, that is based on this particular range which is over here. What she'll do, she'll just select few slots here, and then there are two options. Either she will send these slots with Charlie to ask the confirmation. If she'll choose this one, then there will be a notification will be sent to Charlie's team. If she select this book slot without confirmation, then automatically the selected slot will be booked against Charlie. Now Charlie's slot is booked. Now the next course of action is to send these slots with the candidate. Robin will select Emily and share the slot with Emily. She can also attach, just select Charlie. And share the slot. Once the slot is shared, able to see all available slot. She just choose some of the slot and then send this time slot. Receive a notification saying the slot is sent successfully. Now, when candidate sees their email ID, they'll see this notification like this. They'll see the slot confirmation, and then the option will be coming like this. Let's say the candidate select one of the slot. On selecting the slot, this will give a confirmation the slot is booked or not. As of now, it is giving error. This means that this slot has already been booked. Now she'll select another slot, and the successful message will come like this. If there is any concurrent action happen in between with two candidates, because the same slot can be shared across multiple candidates, in that case, the system will automatically take care and send the new set of slot to the candidate. Now, since the slot is already booked, let's see how it looks in recruiting add-on. On refresh, Robin sees that the slot has already been confirmed, and the time what she has chosen, that has also come as 8 a.m. Now, the next course of action is to schedule interview. To schedule the interview, they'll have to send a meeting invitation. So they'll select that particular candidate with the stage, and Robin will click on send invite. This will populate the information which is already set. For example, the start time, which includes book by Emily, and the location as online. Robin can also provide offline location and disable this team meeting if she doesn't want to go for online meeting. Now she has to put the content of the template or the meeting invitation. For that, we have provided an email template which can be pre-written and can be utilized across multiple meeting invitation. This can be modified. As of now, just select the predefined template and it automatically populates the subject and the body. Robin can add content here or she can remove it based on the requirement. Now, the second thing for candidate as well, there is a separate template. The need of having these two templates was to having different content for candidate and interviewer. We can maintain one single email template as well in case both the body content is required to be same. Now, the next thing, she'll just send this meeting invite after putting all this information, and this will trigger a meeting invitation to candidate as well as interviewer. Now let's see how the candidate will look into this. So candidate will get a mail like this, which contains the interview schedule with Contiso. And along with that, along with the content, Emily will also get a link to join in the meeting. Once she'll join the meeting, the feedback form will be pre-populated in recruiters' teams, and then she can provide the feedback on Teams itself. So this is how the Teams invitation will look like for Charlie, for the interviewer who will take the interview. She will also get the meeting link where she'll join it. And when the meeting starts, she will get a notification where she can provide the information. Since the meeting has been scheduled in future, this will not trigger the feedback until the meeting time has not been reached. But once the meeting has started, she can provide the feedback here itself in the Teams, and then she can done with the interview process. There is another way of providing the feedback is going to the recruiting add-on, and she can also provide the feedback directly here. So let's say she's providing yes. She provides the long feedback, descriptive feedback here, and she'll save the feedback. Once the feedback is saved, now Robin will see this feedback in the feedback form. She'll come back and click this activity to see the feedback which is given by Charlie. So it's just not save, it's always a submit button. When it was submit, it was not submitted, and that's the reason Robin was not able to see this feedback. Now, when the Robin clicks on this particular panel member, she'll be able to see the feedback given by Charlie. And once the feedback is given, After that, she can move this to the next of this. Now, the last stage of this recruitment process is to hire. Now, this is not the actual hiring. This is make the candidate available for the onboarding process. Here, upon a successful interview and positive feedback by the interview, recruiters send back all the candidate information and that's an onboarding process. Let's see how we send this candidate information to Dynamics 365 Human Resource. After seeing the feedback given by the Microsoft ASO, send the candidate information back to Dynamics 365 Human Resource. For this, she'll go to the applicant and then Robin can click on Ready to Hire button. So as soon as she does this, it will ask for information and it's sending candidate information recruiting add-on to Dynamics 365 Human Resource Recruiting. After confirmation, now the system set for this and send the information back to Dynamics 360 users. Our Google candidates, what will happen? So now, Human Resource Manager can see the candidate detail, which is sent from recruiting add-on. We'll just verify all the details, which includes a recruiting request, position details, contact information. If there is any other detail like a skills certificate, and if there is any document which is attached, everything can be seen here. And from here, they'll start the recruitment, the hiring process with the onboarding agent. So this is what I wanted to showcase the recruiting journey, which we have developed to cover the end-to-end solution. Now coming back to the presentation to see what is the upcoming capability we have. So this is the journey which we already talked about, creating a recruiting request to posting, sourcing candidate feedback, and then onboarding. Now, the next feature which we are working on is posting job to external career site. We are constantly in touch with our customer and continuously working to include more and more feature. And what we understood, this is a very important feature in order to source candidate from the multiple external job boards. And this is the feature which we are working on currently. Now, the second thing is resume upload, which Priyanka had already covered. Third feature which we are currently working on is candidate assessment. This is an AI feature, and this will help our recruiter to understand whether the candidate is capable or suitable for the job opening or not. It will verify the different criteria, for example, the skills, their education, or their experience, their location is matching with the job requirement or not. And based on that, AI will suggest whether to move forward with this candidate or just reject this candidate. This will solve a lot of time of recruiter to check the resume versus the job requirement and manually search for whether the candidate is suitable or not. Now, now, this is a very important gap which we have come across in our recruiting solution. As of now, this offer management piece is completely manual. This means that recruiter needs to go through this offer management process manually by sending the offer via the email and then get it signed copy from candidate. With this capability, recruiter will be able to create the offer template. They can attach that and then they can send it over the email where candidate can sign it automatically over the email itself, so they can e-sign it and send it back to recruiter. This will help the recruiter to reduce a lot of man effort, and it will definitely ease the process of maintaining the offer letter. Now, the next capability what we are working on is pre-onboarding. This is also one of the feature which which is required before onboarding, which includes the background verification, then essential information which is required to get it before onboarding starts. So these are the capabilities which we are currently working on. And then from here, I will hand it over to Priyanka.
Thanks, Anisha. Uh, Let me quickly share my screen. So I know we are just going a little more time, but quickly on the resources part. So we have given the important links here where you can go through these resources. Now next come to questions. Unfortunately, we do not have time and we try to answer most of the questions here. Please do reach out to us if we could not answer your question. I know there are three or four we could not answer. So please do reach out to us and we will also try to reach out to you if we get your email IDs. We have given our IDs in the presentation. So do reach out to us and we will definitely answer your questions. And then, yeah, Saurabh, please mention
Yep.
about the feedback.
Yeah. So thank you. And I have posted a link to our short survey in a Q&A panel. We would love to hear your feedback on today's session and hear what you would like to see in the future events. Thank you for your participation. As a reminder, the recording of today's session will be made available on the Tech Talks Community Dynamics page in coming week. I would like to extend a big thank you to our presenters, both Anisha and Priyanka, and to the audience who joined us today. So have a nice rest of the day, everyone, and please feel free to share your feedback on the survey which we have pasted. Thank you.